everyone, I'm Nikki.
I'm Myth.
And welcome to Backyard Stories with Myth and Nikki. We're here with Alison today to talk about the staffing agency that she works at. Hi, Alison.
All right. Hello. Thank you for having me here.
It was so great to have you last time. We learned so much about your kids and how you got started, and your parents run their own businesses. I know we met your mom at an event last week, so I know that she's still running her own business, but thanks for coming on and sharing all those stories. It was great.
Absolutely.
So today we want to talk about your staffing agency that you work for. So can you tell us a bit about that?
Sure. So I work for Robert Half. It's the world's first and largest specialized staffing firm. And I've been there a total of just over 9 years. I started out on the administrative customer service side. So when a business needed help with those types of roles, then I would interview people, I would place them in the jobs, and I would work with the businesses to figure out exactly what they needed and then check in as people were out on their assignments. And then more recently, I've been on the marketing and creative side of the house. So a little over a year now that I've been on that side, helping businesses.
What do you do with that side?
So I mostly am on the business development side. So I work with either business owners or managers within companies to figure out what their needs are and when it might be appropriate to bring on a contractor versus hiring somebody long-term, and work with them through that whole process.
Awesome.
Very interesting. Why Robert Half? What attracted you to them?
Few things. So first off, the caliber and the reputation of the company was really big when I started. Initially when I started looking into it and just seeing they were the world's first, the world's largest. They've won awards multiple times for best places to work, world's most admired companies. And then as I was working there, I realized how well known that they were, which, to be honest, it made my job a lot easier because people already knew about the company. And not only did they know about it, but it was good feedback.
Good.
Right? Every once in a while, an individual would do something crazy, but that's how staffing is.
Anywhere, yeah.
Right? That's how any industry is.
Yes.
But yes, overall, that was what attracted me. What's kept me is how well they've taken care of everybody in terms of internal employees and people that we place at companies, especially after COVID. I came back just over a year ago and was very impressed by the work-life balance and how relational it still is. So it's not a transactional business. It's as if you watch the first one, I'm very relational. Connections are important to me. And so that's a big driver for sure.
Amazing. That's awesome that they left all that up, because I feel like you don't hear that a ton with organizations.
No, sometimes they kind of place the human element with technology, whereas with Robert Half was they embraced the best technology, which makes our jobs easier, but they've kept that human relational element.
That's
Very cool.
That's amazing. Do you need to have any kind of degree, anything like college degree, to be doing what you're doing, or just what do you have in your background?
You don't even know that story, Myth, and you asked that question. So most of the time, yes, they like people to have a degree.
Right.
I do not, and I actually got a lot of scrutiny for that from my friends. You know, I grew up in Sammamish, very college prep high school. Everybody goes to a university. That was really, the bar is very high in terms of education. So when I dropped out of UW, University of Washington, people were saying, oh my gosh, what are you doing? But it didn't make sense for me to be there anymore. I had run a couple businesses and didn't get into the business school and was spending my own money and just determined, you know what? I already have the experience. So when I interviewed at Robert Half, the manager that interviewed with me, I didn't know this going into it. He was a huge stickler on degrees.
Oh.
But because I had experience, I was able to sell him on why they should hire me.
Amazing.
So tip for all of you out there that don't have a degree, it doesn't mean you can't do something. If you need to be a doctor or lawyer, you probably need your degree. But a lot of fields you don't have to.
That's amazing. No, that's great. I feel like that is a story I hear not infrequently of people who are like, they've figured out how to run their own business and they've realized they can roll with that. And so amazing. Yes. Congrats.
Thank you.
Fun fact, I didn't complete my college either.
Hey, it's all good, right?
We did all right. I'm doing okay. You're doing all right. So you don't think it does work, right? I mean, you think about what? Did Bill Gates quit college too?
I think so.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of people.
A lot of billionaires dropped out of college to become billionaires. So
we're not saying that kids quit school. We're not saying that.
No.
Try to get your degree if you can. But again, if
there
for
are
some
other
reason,
options.
You're right. If it doesn't, school is not for you. There's other options, and people like doing that. I know you went to college.
I have a degree.
You have a degree.
It took a while.
You know,
I don't use it.
well,
but
yes, there's a lot of degrees that you have or people have that don't use it. So well, I'm
awesome.
glad that you were able to get a job by
Thanks for sharing that.
convincing a manager to give you a job. So that's you're a true salesperson.
Came with some experience for sure.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
Thanks for sharing that too. I'm sure that'll
for sure.
inspire some people out there. So if I was a manager who wanted to hire staff or like temporary staff or something like that, where would I even start with working with someone like you?
Yeah, that's a great question. So first off, if I'm doing my job correctly, I would ask you as the manager a lot of questions about your team and what you have planned for the year and your goals to kind of feel for maybe where there are some gaps of your staff. And maybe if you're a solopreneur and it's your own business and you have no staff, then it might be figuring out what are some areas that you should probably pay somebody else to do and offload. And then you focus on your strengths and then maybe give those responsibilities to somebody else.
Amazing.
So that's
So
what I'd start with.
do you have temporary staff that comes in and then if they become permanent, do they just become W-2 employees or how does that work?
So we have people that are on our payroll as contractors. And so we interview people every single week, whether they apply for one of our jobs or they're just wanting to work with a staffing firm. And we get to know their skills and what they're looking for. And then as we have assignments for them to go out on, they're on our payroll. So what's nice from a business owner standpoint is that there's no risk for them. They're not their employee, they're our employee. So yes, if down the line they want to hire them on, then they would just become a W-2 on their payroll instead.
Cool. That's awesome.
I actually worked as a temp. Got hired from a temp agency and I found a job. And
Nice.
sometimes actually the contract is done and then the company hires you and sometimes they don't. But it's good to have an option though.
Absolutely. Well, and it gives you good experience too.
Right.
You're exposed to more companies and more industries that way.
Try things out. That's cool.
In my early 20s, and I was trying things out.
There you go. That's why I sold knives, right? We talked about that.
Right. But awesome. Okay, in my personal opinion, I know sometimes you do get hired and sometimes you don't. With your company, what's the rate-wise goes that people get hired directly with the company, or is it some industry and stuff like that?
It does vary. Yeah, I don't have an actual stat. I'm sure I could look it up because we do have good technology that could tell me that, the percentage of contract versus permanent or attempt to hire. But it does depend on the type of roles and the season that we're in.
And so during around this time, what's your highest hiring or the company that hires most from you guys?
Oh, the company? It's a variety of companies. I would say right now, for me personally, there's a larger law firm and then a larger consulting company. And they are both bringing on learning and development specialists. Actually, a couple of other companies are too.
Yeah.
So
And now a word from our sponsor, Mortgage Myth.
If you're looking for someone to guide you through the journey of buying home, doesn't matter it's your first home or your fifth home, I have a person that can help you, educate you, and guide you through the process. Contact me at Mortgage Myth 9 on Instagram.
that's a popular one right now is companies, hopefully if they're with it, they're realizing that they need to start upskilling their employees because there's going to be this huge gap when all these baby boomers retire. And they're not going to find this unicorn person that they're looking for. Right. They need to take some of their existing staff that have already proven themselves. They already know the company values and model and upskill them. So that's a big piece of it is getting to that next level with each person that they have on their team. And to do that, they're bringing in these instructional designers and people that can actually put together course material, whether it's internal trainings, it could be anything for hard skills, soft skills, and experiential events as well are becoming more and more common. So for these professionals that are lawyers and accountants and things like that, it's not just an online learning, but it's also some experiences in person too, which is kind of cool to see.
That's awesome.
That makes so much sense.
You are a salesperson, right? So I'm guessing you are going out there meeting with the managers. How do you get your business and what's that like day to day, pretty much?
Good question.
In your, let's just say, if you were not doing podcasts, right? What your day would look like?
Yes. So it's usually structured between phone calls, emails, LinkedIn reach outs, and then in person. If I don't have the meeting set yet, then it's in-person networking. I like to do a lot of that, whether it's Chamber of Commerce or just other business professional groups in the area. Types of calls that I do, we have our database. I think most companies have that, their internal customer system. So I usually go through that, and then I run different reports on companies that have worked with us before, reaching out to them. Also, because I'm in staffing, I look at ads that are posted, and I call companies on those ads and say, hey, where are you at with this? Would you need to bring in a contractor? I have XYZ person that fits what you're looking for. Get that conversation going.
Cool. So you find some gaps in where you might be able to staff people to help where people are falling short.
Yes. So on the temporary side, because that's a big part of what Robert Half does, we do permanent placement as well, but often companies, they need the help now, and hiring a full-time person takes a long time. Right? It just does. It takes usually 7 to 9 to 10 weeks or longer, depending on the level of the person that's needed. Whereas we're interviewing people every single week that are in that specialization that each of our teams does. And so if someone were to call and say, oh my gosh, my graphic designer just quit,
I need someone ASAP. Cool.
then we have people that are ready to go.
So on that note, if I was someone who was looking for temp work, how would I get started with y'all?
Yes. So the best thing is to get registered with us, and we do post all of our jobs online, roberthalf.com.
Cool.
And people can apply directly to those jobs. But then it kind of goes back to connections, and it's all about who you know. And so reaching out to somebody that's already within the company, you can find me and other people on LinkedIn, and then figuring out based on your specialization where to interview, because all of us interview different skill sets.
So it would be better if I wanted to find temp work, it would be better for me to form a relationship with you so that if, let's say I did do graphic design, which I don't, you would be able to be like, oh, Nikki does graphic design. I can connect them. And
Yes, absolutely. Because
Cool.
we do get, and every company gets thousands of applications, right? And I think that's a big frustration with job seekers is my resume even being seen, or is it just going into the black hole of the internet? Often, no, it's not getting seen.
Right.
Because you think about it from someone that's hiring for a role, if they get 1,000 applications, they're not going to go through all of them.
True.
Right? They'll go through the ones that match the best, or they'll just go through the first 10 that they see, depending on how sophisticated their system is that they use internally. So developing a relationship with somebody is huge. So if you did, let's say that you were an accounting person. Okay, I don't place for accountants, but I know people that do. So then I would introduce you and do a warm introduction to one of the recruiters for that team and get you an interview. Then as jobs come up, you've already been interviewed, you've already are in our system. You can still apply for jobs, but now we are actively working on your behalf as well. As different jobs come up, we'll think, oh, Nikki would be great for that. Let's give her a call.
Cool. That's awesome. Thank you.
Piggyback on her question. If, let's just say, if I were to apply, do you have an AI system where it looks at certain things? You got a nay, or is it someone does look at it? Because I know it could be a lot of applications, right? And some company, like you mentioned, they look at criteria. Thank you, to figure out who they want. But if you don't have the degree, right? So how do you overcome that part of it when you're trying to apply with just you or your company?
Yes, it's a great idea. It's a big thing that I advise people of is if you really want the job, you have to cater your resume and application to that job. Doesn't mean you're lying, but it does mean that if there are certain keywords in that job description, especially things that you're going to look for like in software, you best believe you got to put it in there, and you should put it in there more than once, right? Maybe a summary of skills at the top, and then make sure you list it. Used Excel to make pivot tables doing XYZ, right? As a bullet point in your job. So because what this software does, and we have it at our company, other companies have it too, it's going to pull in and actually sort applicants based on the criteria that they meet. One of those is certain words and how often those words are coming up. All right, so you want to put it in often enough that you're getting in, not so often that it's obvious, right? We understand you've used Excel, you put it every other line. That's a little excessive. And have somebody else look at it. If it's a job you really want, have somebody else look at your resume and your application and just make sure you're not missing anything.
Are you recommending potentially hiring someone to look at their resume or build a resume, or just talk to your friends and see if...
You can hire somebody. I'm sure there are great people out there that do that. I don't think you really need to, though, right off the bat. If you work with someone like us, we don't charge people for looking at their resumes and giving them feedback. We charge the companies which to me logically makes sense. The job seeker probably doesn't have a lot of disposable income, which is why they're looking for a job, right? So just, I would say be careful. Again, not that there aren't good people that will charge you money to look at your resume, but there are a lot of free resources out there.
But you're saying you guys do look at resumes and tweak things and help your potential employees, right?
Yes, and one of the reasons I've been with Robert Half as long as I have is because people truly do care, and it's not transactional. And so if we're meeting with somebody, we will give them advice on their resume. We'll find out how's your job search? Are you getting interviews? Where is the blockage? You're not getting any interviews. Let's look at your resume. Are you getting interviews but you're not getting the job? Let's look at how you're interviewing. And so we can really help pinpoint maybe where that issue is and give them advice.
Oh, that's awesome, actually. That's good to know.
Yeah.
That's great.
Not every company does that, I don't think so.
No, and same with hiring managers. We'll give them advice as well on, even if they don't want to use us for their search, we'll still give them advice on how to find good people and how to ask the right questions. And maybe we'll look at their job description and interview them basically on what they're looking for, and then say, ooh, you might want to take out this and add in this.
This is exactly what I do for website audits.
Oh,
really? Because I find out where people's, like, what's the issue? Is it that people aren't reaching out to you in the first place? Or is it that they're reaching out and then they're falling off after you email them?
Yes.
Or is it that they're reaching out and they have a ton of questions which you already answered on your website? Then let's figure out, diagnose the problem, and fix it.
Love that.
I love to hear that you do those resumes too. Because I think it's really strategic.
Here's a quick word from our sponsor, Nixter.tech.
All right, whether you need a website built from scratch, you need your website problems diagnosed, or you just want the support of a developer who actually cares about your business, Nixter.tech is the place to go. We offer one-on-one services, consulting, education, and group services. So if you need someone who is going to actually care about your business and wants to see you succeed, we've got your back. Learn more at Nixter.tech.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Sure.
Any last thoughts and things you want to share about your company that you work for with the people that are listening or watching us?
Sure. I would say that for companies, it's typically free to work with a staffing firm until somebody's actually placed. And so it's very beneficial, whether you work with Robert Half or another one, to at least reach out, because again, we have all these great candidates that are ready to go, that it's no extra cost for you. And there are a lot of situations that people don't really think about right away, where bringing in a contractor would actually save a lot of time and money, or the intangibles where people are getting very burned out right now. People are spread very thin at companies, and it's just a matter of time before they need to take time off because they have a mental health breakdown or physical health breakdown, or they leave. And the cost of that, you can't really quantify. So bringing in people, even if it's just 5 hours a week or for a couple weeks, just to help maybe get some projects going, will then take that pressure off the existing staff.
Awesome.
That is great to know.
Yeah.
And it's good to know that it's free until you staff someone, because then they can really figure out, they could potentially work with you to figure out what would be the most beneficial, right? How should I staff someone?
Yep, absolutely. And sometimes they'll bring in one of our contractors for maybe a month or two, and then they decide, you know what, we're going to rework this job description, but the work didn't fall behind, right? There was someone there doing the work during that time of figuring things out, because a lot of people are figuring things out right now. We're in a very uncertain, right? Our world is very uncertain.
True. Well, thank you for your time.
Thank you for having me here.
We're going to have you again on the podcast, But thank you for sharing all your insights and knowledge. We really love that.
Super informative. I learned a lot.
Okay.
I hope you did too.
All right, yes. Reach out if you have any questions.
Where can people find you?
LinkedIn is great. I'm on there every single day.
Is that the best place?
I would say, just generally speaking, since this is going out to I don't know where. LinkedIn's great. Yes.
Alison with one
There you
L.
go.
We will link that.
We should have started the podcast with that. Alison with one L.
We got Alison with one L.
There we go.
All right. Well, Alison, thank you for your time.
Yeah,
all right.
thanks
Thank you
for
both.
coming on.
I will. You
Cool.
guys have a good day.
All right, bye.